Thanks for joining us for City Council Comments. I'm Steve Erickson along with Mayor Jerry Cook. Today we're talking about both our Monday, August 5th and Tuesday, August 20th City Council meeting. Thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Summer is quickly winding to a close here. It's kind of catching me off guard a little bit. Today's actually when we're recording this, the first day of the Minnesota State Fair.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's, what a glorious morning it would be to be there. It's in the 60s and
Yes.
just a perfect day.
I was thinking that when I was getting out here at work, and perfect day for the fair. This weekend's supposed to be a little bit hotter, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like not crazy hot, but like 90 or something, which is a little hotter.
Which when you're packed in there with a couple, 100,000 people.
Of your closest friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people love it. Some people go a million times. I imagine some people don't go at all.
Yeah, so. We're kind of eyeing the end of next week when it cools again a little bit. And,
yeah, always a fun time to venture around there.
Yeah, the Great State Fair.
Yeah. All right, well, we had two meetings in August. One was very short, and one was, I don't want to say very long, but pretty long.
Longer than normal by today's standards anyway. Yeah.
Yes. So we'll delve into things here. We're actually going to start with our short meeting, which happened to be our last one, which happened Tuesday, August 20th. A couple items there we want to talk about. One of the first being council approved the final payments for the new Fire Station 3. Pretty much all the payments have been paid now.
Yeah. So we worked with a management consultant on the construction of that, and so we had lots of different things to pay. We just made the final payments on, I don't even remember what the items were now, but we still have, the last thing I think we've got to resolve is the concrete.
Okay.
We had some issues with the carpenter contractor and with the concrete
Okay.
And so we've still got a few things to resolve there, but it's mostly paid for now, and it looks beautiful.
Which is good. That's why it felt like a slow process this year a little bit. The firefighters actually did move in there at the very beginning of January, but there's been some finishing touches and things that have been needed throughout. So folks are actually going to be able to check it out coming up here in October.
During Fire Prevention Week. Is that what it is?
Yep.
They'll have an open house Saturday morning, October 12th from 10 to noon.
Yep.
And give everybody an opportunity to get in and take a look at it and get a tour of the building. And it is an absolute state-of-the-art. Yeah. It's just beautiful. And like you said, they moved in at the first of the year, and for the first several months they couldn't bring the trucks in the back doors because there was no concrete back there.
Yeah.
But now that's all in, and the place looks amazing.
Yeah, the sign's up, everything's good. So if you want to check it out and go on a tour, come out to the open house again Saturday, October 12th, 10 to noon. It's normally at all three fire stations, but this year it's just going to be at new Fire Station 3, which is directly across from Anoka Ramsey Community College on the old Cook Arena site.
On the old Cook Arena site, right? And so there's lots of parking there. Anoka Ramsey is always very gracious and allows us to park there. So we've got a big parking lot right across 111th, and of course all the parking across Mississippi Boulevard. So
yeah, and people love that. I think sometimes folks actually, I didn't know this, went from open house to open house. I thought I'm the only one that had to do that to get different demonstrations, but people would actually jump from the different stations to take in the different safety demonstrations. So this will be nice to kind of have everything under one roof, so to speak, and people can just stay there and check out everything.
I did it. I felt obligated
well, you probably
to hit all three.
Yeah.
So, you get a cookie at each one,
See, that's smart too. All right, cool. We'll move forward now. Council considered a budget amendment and a resolution awarding a contract. This is for the East Water Treatment Plant generator improvements. I feel like we had another item related to the East Water Treatment Plant this year, but
no, don't ask me what that was.
I'm putting you on the spot there. Was that a roof? I don't know, but this is for what is this for?
So this was a replacement of the generator that's currently there. All it does is just keeps the minimum things running, keeps the lights on basically.
Okay.
And if we have an extended power outage, we can't pump any water. Okay. Basically what we're doing is we're emptying the water towers until we get that running again. Okay. So now we've increased the capacity of the one generator and added an additional generator so that now we can actually not only get water out of the ground, we can treat it and we can send it on into the water towers. So if we have an extended water or power outage, we're not going to be we're not concerned about running out of water if we have fires, to compound it or something.
Right. Okay. So normally they'd come out of the towers first, and then they would be refilled again.
Yeah. Yeah, and we haven't had an issue in the past.
Yeah.
And because our east plant and our west plant are on with two different power companies, it seemed like we had, some good backup there anyway.
Yeah.
But because things can go horribly wrong, you want to plan for it and you want to be ready. So that's what this is.
All right. I don't know if this is wood, but
Yeah.
hopefully we don't have that in the future.
Well, I mean, and as I mentioned at the meeting, September of '05, when we had that really bad storm come through, the area around our west water treatment plant, that power was out for over a week.
Oh, wow.
So it yeah.
Like Mother Nature, you don't know when it's going to happen, right?
Yeah, our kids were little, and I remember we had lanterns around the house, and it was actually, it became very pleasant. There was no TV, there was there was no electronics in the house, and the Saturday when the power came back on, I was almost sad. I was like,
Okay. All right, moving forward, Council considered contracts for the soccer complex field lighting installation and electrical control cabinet replacement. They're in the process, I believe this fall, they're going to do the first phase of replacements for the lights at the soccer complex.
Yeah, the soccer complex still has the old lights, whatever those are.
Yep.
So everything's being updated to LED. We're able to use the same light standards that were there, but it just requires all kinds of the new cabinet. And I think this was for the new cabinet, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's one of them is electrical control cabinet replacement, it says.
Yeah. So it's all just part and parcel of getting the new lights into the soccer field.
Yeah. So I believe they're going to start sometime in October, if I recall correctly, after the fall soccer season concludes. And then part of the funding is also coming out of next year's budget as well, right? Half of it's coming out of this year's, half of it is coming out of 25.
Probably, because most of the work, I mean, we have to order everything, takes a while to get it, and we still haven't done the contract for actually getting them installed yet, I don't believe. Okay. I think that'll probably be the 25 budget.
All right. That is all we have to talk about on our August 20th meeting. Again, as we said, pretty quick meeting. Moving back now to Monday, August 5th. We had this meeting a day early due to Night to Unite. One of the first items there we wanted to talk about was the approval of an on-sale strong beer and wine liquor license. This is for a softball tournament that's coming up in September at Sand Creek Park.
This is a really popular softball tournament. And what was it?
That was item number 3.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I get all we have is the acronym, MMSA.
Yes. That's why. Did you notice I didn't say it? I left it for you to.
Yeah, thank you. And that's the military softball. So it must be the Minnesota military softball tournament. So MMSA is just as completely confusing. I don't know what it stands for.
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
But it's a military softball tournament at any rate, and it's 3 days. It's Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. It's a lot of teams. It's a lot of veterans. And there's a great opening program, a great closing program. The North Star Lions is there selling food, selling beer. And now this year, in conjunction with all of that, the Coon Rapids Police Federation, or Community Association?
Coon Rapids Police Association.
Police Association?
Yeah.
Okay. They're raising money. They're having a bags tournament there. And they're raising money for the Shop with a Cop and things like that. So it's going to be a really fun weekend, and that will be...
So right after September 13th, 14th, 15th.
September 13th, 14th, and 15th, Sand Creek Park. And just, it's open to the public. Stop out. Check out the opening program.
Yeah, the first night program. Where they do the national anthem and all that.
And then they do that again on Sunday before the final games, I believe it is.
Okay.
It's just it's a tremendous thing, and they get all the vendors with all of the things that help the veterans out there set up, and it's a very nice event.
Yeah, it's been back for a number of years now, so they must feel it's pretty successful at this location.
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward, Council conducted a public hearing and considered adoption of an ordinance for a new Comcast cable television franchise. This is something we have to do every so many years.
Yeah, probably not as often as we should be doing it, since I think we were operating off the agreement from 2000, and then that was like, then it worked without an extension, and then it was extended in 2014, and
Yeah, for 5 years, and then we've
Yeah.
kind of been going without since about 2019.
yeah. So Comcast just continues to honor the agreement as if the agreement is in place, and now it is in place again. And we've had, I think we've had the same attorney the whole time on that, Mike Bradley,
yes.
who was, I don't know if there's a bigger expert on dealing with Comcast.
Yep.
And didn't we? I think part of the new contract, did we pick up a couple more channels?
There's one is going. We're getting an additional HD channel
that what it
for
is?
our channel 14.
Okay.
So, and I believe we talked about it the other day. 798 will be our other HD channel. So 798, 799 is government, and then 859 is community.
Okay.
So we call it our plus channel. So it's other programming from some of the other access centers that have games or other stuff of interest to folks here, maybe, because we also have some folks that live here who actually go to other schools.
Yeah.
If you live close to Blaine or, say, the northern part with Andover.
Yeah.
Those types of things. So yes, an additional HD channel. The franchise fee remains the same. That's 5% of Comcast's gross revenues that subscribers pay on their bills. And then also the PEG fee is changing from a flat fee to a 2.3%, which will increase that a bit.
Okay.
And of course, this is all the funding. If people aren't aware, that this is what allows CTN to operate.
Right.
And we wouldn't have the channels without the franchise agreement with Comcast.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, so we approved the contract, and Mike Bradley was there, and of course Eric Strauss, your department head, was there, and so no, we're thankful. That's behind us now for what, 10 years?
I mean, really, if we go by the last 15 or 20, will this one will be in effect?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So,
And one of the things that's worth mentioning, because people go, why do we only have Comcast in town?
Yeah.
It's like, we're not limiting it. It's not an exclusive agreement, but it's kind of like, another cable company goes, I'm sure they look at the city and go, Xfinity pretty well got it locked up.
Right.
It would take us a lot to break into that market. Let's go pick an easier place to break into.
yeah, and when we did have CenturyLink, we had a franchise with them for a while, and then they pulled out. So it's not like we haven't, but that was a short duration. But again, non-exclusive. So anybody that wants to, same sort of conditions there.
Yep.
All right, moving forward, Council adopted a resolution awarding a contract for the Coon Creek Regional Trail Pedestrian Bridge over Coon Rapids Boulevard. You guys have probably talked about this a lot, looked at the design, but we're going to finally get into construction here soon.
Yeah. This is that connecting the regional trail from kind of by the Coon Rapids, just east of Egret Boulevard along Coon Rapids Boulevard, crossing over, and then continuing east. It all happens right there by Lilybud.
Yep.
And I'm sure if you've gone by, you've seen all the markers are out there.
Yep.
And we're excited to get it going, and it should be a really nice gateway to Coon Rapids.
Yep.
And we've had a lot of input on the design, and it should be very nice.
All right. So that'll get away under construction. I believe they said it'll take about a year to complete the bridge.
Yeah, something like that, because they have to order the span. It takes a long time to build the span, and sure.
All right. Moving forward, Council considered adoption of an ordinance rezoning property at 10701 Butternut Street. This is September's Son of Architecture. This would be for a proposed townhouse project, but again, we don't look at the project. We're looking at the land here.
Right.
And there was a lot of discussion here that's been to council before. Planning has looked at this a lot, and in the end, this rezoning was denied.
Yeah, this was really a tough one, and everybody on the council looked at it. We've had a lot of conversations about it. We've heard from a lot of folks. The challenge is this was always a part of Peace Lutheran Church. Mm-hmm. It was always just part of the church property, but it was right alongside of University Avenue. They've used it for community gardens. They've used it for things like that. And now a developer apparently has purchased it and wanted to build townhomes. Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, because it was just a chunk of vacant land, there was never any curb cuts put in from University Avenue. Mm-hmm. I don't think that was ever the intention. I think the reason it was zoned office, which is what its current zoning is because they anticipated you would come in and get off of University Avenue.
Right.
Without those curb cuts, The only access, ingress and egress for this development is Butternut Street. And what we heard from all of the residents on Butternut Street and the other various subsidiary streets, we already have too much traffic here. Too many people use this for a shortcut between 109th, or I'm sorry, Northdale and University. And any project that went in would exacerbate that traffic on Butternut Street. So we worked with them, trying to get them to get ingress, egress off of University so that it wouldn't be on Butternut, and they couldn't lock it down. So whether it's going to stay office, which is currently staying office.
Yeah.
If somebody decides to build an office complex there, I don't think a site plan is going to be improved until they have ingress, egress off University. If these folks go back to the county and get approval for their ingress, egress off University and come back to us and ask for rezoning, I think there's a good chance the council would accept that. But we just had so many conversations with the neighbors, and really didn't want to do any more traffic on Butternut Street.
Well, and that's the thing too. You bring that you want to make sure you're going to be able to go forward with the project without the plans, but then you sort of need the plans. Isn't the county going to want to see plans in order before they approve a right in and right out? And you got to spend money on that.
Yeah. This is it's a challenging thing, but it's something the developer is going to have to actually invest in to move forward to bring back that plan to us.
Yeah.
Because we can't go and do that without a plan.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the other thing was brought up. I mean, the way this is zoned office, you could have a use that generates more traffic than this housing project would, and that could happen right now because it's already zoned office.
It could.
Yeah.
It could, but my guess is any site plan approval would be contingent on getting that curb cut on University.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. All right. So possibly more to come on this, but it's really in the developers or the people that own the property right now.
It's in the court of the people that own the property. Correct. Yeah. And like as we discussed, I think that they should probably start with the county.
Yeah. All right. Moving forward, council approved a site plan with conditions and approved dimensional flexibility. This is for a project, JHM Medical Park in the Holly Street industrial area. 9255 Holly Street. This is for an addition or a building they want to put up that's about 30,000 square feet.
A new warehouse. Yeah, I think it's like 39,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And it's right across Springbrook Drive from the clinic. Right now, across from Springbrook Drive from the clinic is the Frenesius, I think it is, clinic or building, and this is being built in the industrial park, but because it's within a block of Coon Rapids Boulevard, it's in the River Rapids overlay, and so you can see the back of the building from Coon Rapids Boulevard. So extra thought, extra considerations had to go into it. There were several design flexibilities that were granted. They're trying to build a building similar to the Frenesius, which is a very attractive building. They had to get creative with the docks. They have to put the docks on Holly Street. That way they're not line of sight of Coon Rapids Boulevard. And it's a more practical use because they can bring the trucks in, back them right up to the docks over there. I think it's a very nice looking building. It's a nice looking project, and they're moving forward with it.
Yeah, great to see business still moving in and looking at our industrial parks as well.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
All right, so moving forward, council considered a commercial tower application for a new temporary and permanent wireless tower at 11316 Foley Boulevard. This will be on the site of what is the current Foley Water Tower, but that will be taken down eventually here because we have the new water tower that'll eventually come online this year.
Right, we've got the new water tower going in down on Foley and 610 Coon Rapids Boulevard. Yeah. So this is that 500,000 gallon water tower up there that apparently is higher than our other water towers, so you can only use about half of it. So we're going to stop using that one. We have cell companies that are renting tower space there. So we need to set up a temporary tower for that, and then we'll eventually tear down the water tower, put up a monopole, get that company back on the monopole, and that'll be open to, I think, 2 additional companies then on that monopole.
Because we rent those, right, to these companies, so we get income off that.
Right. Yeah, and the income will cover the cost of this. And I don't remember the payback now, but it's a fairly short-term payback, and it's a nice revenue stream for the city.
Yeah. All right.
And if you live in that area or drive through that area, if you want your phone to work, you've got to have those antennas. So.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even notice it. I don't know where I was. I was just thinking this the other day, and I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of like wires on top of whatever I think it was a water tower. But I'm like, sometimes you don't totally notice it. But yeah, you don't also want it to be an eyesore.
No. Eventually, they just kind of disappear.
Yeah.
There's one up off Main Street by the church up there. There's one off of Round Lake Boulevard, Grand Rapids Boulevard. They're around. Eventually, you just don't see them anymore.
Yeah, they need those reports like on Apple Maps that you can report when you see a squad or an accident or something. That's like where your call dropped or something, and like put another one of those in.
Put another one
antenna in this area.
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward to our next item here, we want to talk about council considered final design services agreement. This is for the Highway 610 East River Road full interchange project. The design services agreement was approved, and we're still kind of moving forward with this project.
We are moving forward with it. We're getting, $1 million here, $1 million there. Pretty soon you're talking real money.
Yes.
I think, I don't remember the last number I saw on this. The last number I thought was...
We're about 21, I believe, is what we're funded.
21 million?
Out of about 41, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
because we got 10 million for one, and then we're supposed to get something for 10 million this fall.
Okay.
But then I also heard, I thought our public works director mentioned that we possibly might be getting funding from somewhere else too.
Probably.
With Met Council, unless that was the 10 million.
Oh,
this
that
fall.
tab or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
that might fill the remaining gap. Unless I misunderstood that.
So what we have is we've received enough funding to be really encouraged that we're going to get this done.
Yeah.
We have final approval, so now we've hired an engineer firm to do the final design. Get everything ready to go, so as soon as we get the last checks, we can go out for bids and we can just get started on the project.
Yeah. Okay. So basically,
that's
they want to have a shovel-ready project. I believe in about a year is where we would be at. So again, about hoping at least half of it is half of the $40 million price tag secured, and hopefully we can get the other 20. And then once we are able to secure that, then construction could begin.
Right. So what this is a $2,9,123 for the final design of the Trunk Highway 610 East River Road interchange, and authorize appropriate staff to execute such agreement. So.
And again, this will provide both directions. Right now, it's basically a half interchange. This will make it a full interchange where you'll be able to go all directions.
Right. Yeah. When 610, again, as a reminder, when 610 was opened, it only went west.
Yeah.
So all of the getting on, getting off is from the west. Go west, come off of west. If you are coming east, if you're going west on 610 and you miss the University Avenue exit or the exit for Highway 10, you got to go across the river to Brooklyn Park, go to 85th, turn around and come back again in order to get off on East River Road.
Yep.
So we're going to fix that.
Yes, hopefully that all goes through and they'll be under construction as well.
Yeah.
I think the earliest, I believe, on that project, they said construction, the earliest would be 2027 at this point is what I'm hearing from our engineering department.
That sounds right. Big highway departments, big highway projects, they take a long time.
Yeah. All right. Council considered agreements and a resolution for a budget amendment for project 24-21. This is miscellaneous compost. This was a little bit of a discussion at this council meeting as well. We apparently have 2 of these compost piles that we need to deal with. And this was item number 16.
Oh, yeah. I didn't circle that. So we have a lot down in that industrial park we were talking about earlier. And every time there's been a storm, anytime we've had to haul off trees, they just haul them there and dump them. Well, now it's becoming an issue. We have a lot of stuff there. Tim Himmer, our public works director, has worked and found somebody to haul it, somebody that will take it, use it, and so it just seems like the opportune time to get all of that off of there. It was supposed to be just temporary storage until we had time to process it.
Right.
Now we're taking time to process it. We've got somebody that, like I said, is willing to They're using it to spread it on their property for something. I don't know what it is, but we have to pay them to take it.
Yeah.
We pay to haul it, but it became it made financial sense now for us to get rid of it.
Right. And this was not a budgeted item at the time, which was some of the discussion, but it sounds like the solution just came up. They found the right person.
Yeah.
The price seemed decent. I think it was like over $400,000 or so.
Yeah, approximately $425,000. We'll be paying $200 a load for hauling the materials, $225 an hour for site excavation and loading materials, and then Rivard companies will be receiving the materials, and we'll be paying them $3 a cubic yard to take it.
Okay. So yes, Mr. Himmer seemed happy. He had somebody that would actually take it. The costs seem, it's not a small change, but you let this go another couple of years, that price tag could double or.
Well, and anytime you have something that needs to be done, it kind of hangs over you.
Yeah.
And right now he found this is like the perfect opportunity for getting rid of it. Let's just make it go away.
Yes.
And
then it sounds like for the future, we're going to start budgeting for the removal of this. So we do have a solution going forward. Correct?
Right. Now we actually have money built into the budget annually for disposing of this.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Those were all the items we had to talk about. I know you guys also had your first work session this month on the proposed 2025 budget, correct?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing, and the staff starts on it back about April.
Yeah.
What are your needs? And they talk about wants and needs, but our budget really goes for what do you need?
Yeah.
And we're looking currently at a 7.85 budget levy amount, and there's a few fiscal hawks on there. I'd like to think we're all fiscal hawks, and ready to push back. But you could tell they worked so hard on it, and they already cut out the extras.
The wants. Some of the wants got eliminated pretty quick.
It seems like we're down to the needs, and so the 7.85 seems to be acceptable at this point. In September, we have to approve the budget not to exceed, and then if we can trim it back, we can do that by December before the final budget is set for next year.
All right.
So that's where we're at.
All right. And then, folks will get their truth and taxation or the proposed in November, and then there will be a public hearing in December before the levy and budget are adopted.
Right.
All right. We also want to talk about, you said there was a Rhythm of the Rapids. Is that what it's called, coming up here in September?
Yeah, Rhythm of the Rapids. So the Anoka-Ramsey Community College Foundation always tries to find creative ways to raise money for scholarships for the students there. And this year they came up with something that I just think is awesome. Yeah. It's called the Rhythm of the Rapids. They're bringing in G.B. Layton to play with his band on the riverbank of the Mississippi River. If you've not been to the Anoka-Ramsey Community College campus, it's one of the most beautiful college campuses in the state. It's right on the Mississippi River. So G.B. Layton's going to be playing on, actually they're using the city's show stage there. Okay. There's going to be food trucks. It's going to be a great night, and tickets are only $10. Wow. And you can go online. If you just do an internet search for Rhythm of the Rapids or Anoka-Ramsey Community College, you're going to get there, and you can. And you do need to buy the tickets in advance. They're just $10, and it should be a great night. It's going to be Thursday night, September 12th, and I think it's 5:30 to 8:30 or something like that.
Okay, right at the campus.
Right at the campus. Should be a really fun evening. Yeah.
All right. Farmers Market's still going on Wednesdays, I believe, through October 9th. So get out there 3 to 6 at the Coon Rapids Ice Center.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. That is all I got, unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, I think we have time for the other things.
All right. And watch your the fall newsletter will be coming out here, which will have some of this stuff, the budget, other stuff we've talked about today. It'll land in houses, I believe, around September 10th, 11th, 12th. So watch for that.
Jennifer put you up to this, right?
Because I haven't. So I have to tease.
Because I haven't written my article yet.
This slides in the same day we go to print usually. All right. So yes, watch for that. Watch for Jerry's article and the newsletter. All right. Well, thank you for watching at home, and we'll see you back here again after our 2 meetings in September.